Hello, everyone. Gaming Godfather here with Doom Eternal, part 4 of what's going to wind up being a pretty big mess from what I've seen in my continuing edits of my cuts of this game. Got a mess all over the place. Looks like I started all over, or I may have my Windows and Xbox footage mixed together. Not quite sure. Although, date-wise, this should all be Xbox footage. So I'm still trying to sort that out. Looks like I went back in on the lowest level, which is once again eluding me. Hurt me plenty is the usual go-to on here. But this is definitely, not this footage, but there's the footage that I'm just thinking about right now was from I'm Too Young to Die. Alright, so hop over. Always look backwards. Always give a good look at your surroundings. I've tried to cut out most of that from these videos because that's annoying to watch. So I don't know if I've touched on much of the plot, but this is what's happened after, it was 8 months after the destruction on Mars. Oh, I'm going to do this a little bit like pop-up videos too. Kind of forgot to mention that in there because, yeah, my dumbass, for some reason, I think that's the third time that that dog appears that I've shot at it. And I don't know if I thought maybe when it turned into pixelated green dust that, I don't know if I thought I was killing it or what. Hey. Hard to say. And who is this Dr. Pimple Popper? And what am I doing wrong? So, enough with the pop-up video stuff. So, 8 months after the Doomslayer went to Mars and not only eradicated most of the demon population, but destroyed almost all the equipment that was put there by the UAC. In the aftermath, it would appear, as I'm trying to pet a dog and going back to grab this codex, in the aftermath it would appear they got a little ticked off, ran off to Earth, and at this point in time have overtaken 60% of the population. By overtaking, I mean destroyed. Over 2016, this game does have a lot of new enemies. You'll see a couple of them here. Yeah, the flying demons are new. It looks like a standard imp that grows wings. It's either the standard imp or the weapon-throwing imp. Again, not exactly certain on the names of the characters, and really don't care. I just like running around and blowing stuff up. So those unfamiliar with the gameplay, which is very hard to be this day and age considering that Doom's been around since 1993, you cut your path. You are to run in and gun and find your way. There is a little more strategy involved in this version. That's the one thing that's kind of nice about Eternal. You can't just go in and just start blasting away in some instances. You have to go in and be selective of who you destroy first. You want to actually go into some of these levels with a strategy and get things figured out from the point of who's where, who do you need to go after first. Sometimes it may not be the annoyance, which sucks because the annoyances can be a pain, but they also do a lot less damage to you than some of the others. So that's why you want to make sure you're selective, especially when you get to the boss levels. So I had backed off of this, stopped narrating, went back to look at the video because I'm having sound issues again. I had to adjust this by 14 frames as I was doing the video edit. And now I'm doing the narration and finding that I'm also back off on the sound again. Seems to be in the opposite direction. But one of those wonderful rules that you'll have in Premiere Pro when you go into edit your preferences for your audio hardware there's a warning message that will come up. I have it turned off on mine now. That will tell you that if you're using a different source, that you may have some issues. And I've discovered that, yes, I do. Using my Audio Techniques headset, I'm getting the delay in the sound effects, but using playing it back through the soundbar and the subwoofer, the cleach that I have underneath the 100-inch screen here, everything still sounds perfect. So I'm going to continue the narration, finish that up, and we'll see how it turns out when it's done. I got a feeling that it's something I may have to get used to at this point. The audio needs to be correct through the television speakers, in my opinion. These weren't the most expensive headsets in the world. I think I only paid 75 bucks, I think, for this headset. It's the only set that I actually have that is audio only, just for me to listen. No headset on it. So we're progressing forward. Come on over, hop a rune, figure out what's going on there. We're going to choose which upgrade we want. Get that added to my arsenal and move on. So as you can see, this is it does start to get pretty difficult in the area that I'm in right now, and we're again barely into this. I'm still going after the second priest. Dancing around up here. I've got some enemies down below. This is another one where, you know what, might as well, since he has an energy weapon, knock him out right there and move on. Zippity zap. Hair raising. Feels like static electricity in here. And what I'm doing at this point, I'm not quite sure. All I was doing was leaving some footage in here to get this thing around the 15-minute mark, so I managed to pull it off at 14 minutes and 19 seconds. If you want to get technical, and 21 frames. Popping imps from up here, that's just playing like a wuss. So I'm going to see if I can get this power up from here, which I very easily could have, but coordination was off. Because I should have just bolted forward right there, would have nailed it, and actually used it while I'm in here doing this. So here's my pain. And the rest of it all the way around the circle seems to be pretty small, so time to focus on the big guy. I'm getting a fire first, sound after in the headset. So we'll see what happens when I process this in the end, how it holds up. So just rocking and rolling through. Door's already open after killing the big guy, but, you know, we can't leave loose ends. So these deaf and blind ones. That one's done. Take care of these two, and I believe... I can't remember if I hop up now or not. It's really nice how I chainsaw those two and then just stand there and get pelted several times by a stationary cannon. That, folks, is comedy. Alright, yeah, I am going to line up and make this jump just to get up here and get this power up. Miss it that time around. We're going to go back around one more time, grab it, and move on. Alright, so secret found. Move on. And here we go. They're back. I wait too long before I charge in, so I'm not going to get my glory kill there. Take a little bit of a pelting, but we lob another one. And then watch all the health drop down. So time to run and grab some of that. And I completely miss it all. Get knocked in midair, down to 5 health, 15 armor, thanks to that grab. Alright, the good old power punch, and here we go. Are we going to drop down and grab some of that health? There we go. He can be taught. Hey, they're walkthroughs, they're playthroughs. I didn't say they were good. I'll work on trying to entertain everybody with the words that come out of my mouth hole. There's my buddy. Gotta love that arachnotron. This is a point in this room where the floor can be walked on, where later on, that will be electrified. Boy, that looks good. I'm telling you. I know you guys are out here going, wow, this dude's awesome. I can only have him as a co-op player. Whew, we cruise through this game, no problem. Look at that. Point blank with a shotgun. And shot over each shoulder. Whew, pretty accurate on that box, though. Let's get this thing out of commission already. Alright, that's all the big uns. Let's cut this forward. As we learn about weapon points and upgrading and making them more powerful than they already are, what you can do with your weapons, your health, your armor. Because you're going to need it. And when you consider it, I would say rating-wise, the enemies I'm still hitting right now would be at the low to medium level. This is where I initially noticed the sound issue that I was having, and I'm now noticing that I have it again in the headset. So once again, I'm hoping that after it gets processed, which it will get processed with the output speakers being the soundbar. All this platforming, oh, that drove me nuts. These little tidbits, these little 14-minute videos, this is a very light sampling. Now, I don't know if that's something that can't be done yet. Since it's lit green, I would assume that it can be done, and I stop back later on. And finally, after moving my position several times and striking, I finally get that block to move. Shouldn't have been that difficult. So, to be continued. We'll get number 5 together as soon as possible. I'm going to thank all of you guys for watching. This is part 4 of my half-assed Doom Eternal walkthrough. Please subscribe. Like it if you like. Share it if you dare. And as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, especially to watch it all the way to the end. Peace. Later.